Stop everything you are doing right now. Because what is happening today, on this exact date, is not something most people will ever understand. And the fact that you are here, watching this, in this specific moment, is not an accident. March just opened, and the universe did not wait for you to be ready. It never does. Right now, as you are reading these words and hearing this voice, a cosmic reset is already in motion. A reset so precise, so deliberate, so personally aimed at the people watching this, that missing it would cost you more than you realize. The window is open right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. And if you feel something shifting inside you, if you feel a strange sense of urgency you cannot explain, that is not anxiety. That is your soul recognizing what your mind has not caught up to yet. Stay with me, because what I am about to tell you changes everything. Most people woke up today and thought it is just another Sunday, just the first day of a new month, just another page on the calendar flipping over. They are completely wrong. And that is exactly why most people will spend this entire month wondering why nothing is changing, while the people who understood what today actually is will be watching their entire lives reorganize in front of them. Here's what is really happening. We are currently deep inside Pisces season, the most emotionally powerful, spiritually charged solar season of the entire year. This is the season that closes the entire astrological cycle, the season that asks every single one of us, what are you finally ready to let go of? What have you been carrying that was never yours to carry? And today, March 1st, is the moment that question becomes impossible to ignore. The energy of this exact day is not gentle. It is not asking. It is demanding. You have been feeling it building for days, haven't you? That low hum of something important approaching. That quiet restlessness you could not put a name to. That sense of standing at the edge of something, not knowing whether to step forward or step back. That feeling is not confusion. That is alignment arriving before the mind is ready for it. And here's what makes today so urgent, so critical, so impossible to sleep through. Today is not just the first day of March. Today marks the opening of one of the most electromagnetically and spiritually charged sequences this year has to offer. A sequence of events so rare, so perfectly timed, so undeniably aimed at the people who are awake enough to receive it, that missing even the first 24 hours of this window could delay everything you have been waiting for by months. You cannot afford to miss this. Before we go any further, I need you to understand something. The reset that is happening today is not coming from outside of you. No eclipse, no planet, no cosmic event can hand you a new life. What these moments do, what this exact moment is doing right now, is activate what is already waiting inside you. Think of it like a key. The door was always there. The room behind it was always yours. But you needed the right moment, the right alignment, the right energetic push to finally turn the handle. March 1st is that moment. And if you are someone who has been quietly doing the work, not the loud performative work that people post about, but the real, invisible, deeply personal work of healing yourself, rebuilding your beliefs, releasing the version of you that was surviving instead of living, then today is the day the universe says, enough preparation, it is time. You have been in a season of internal renovation for longer than feels comfortable. Months, maybe. For some of you, years. You have been stripping away the layers of who you were told to be, the expectations that were handed to you before you were old enough to question them. The relationships that asked you to be smaller. The dreams you were convinced were too big for someone like you. And all of that clearing, all of that painful, quiet, invisible work was not random. It was not suffering for the sake of suffering. It was preparation. Today, March 1st, is the first day of what that preparation was building toward. And I need you to hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing anything. The timing of your path is not an accident. It was always designed to lead you to a moment exactly like this one. Now, let me tell you what is literally, astronomically, undeniably happening above you right now, because this is where it becomes impossible to dismiss. We are in the final hours before a blood moon, a total lunar eclipse, coming on March 3rd. This is not a minor celestial event. This is not something that happens every year. A total lunar eclipse of this magnitude, fully visible across the entire United States, is one of the rarest and most energetically significant astronomical events that exists. And it is arriving in exactly 48 hours. Which means today, right now, we're inside what astrologers and energy workers call the pre-eclipse shadow, the 24 to 48 hour window before a major eclipse, where the energy is already shifting, already reorganizing, already pulling things to the surface that have been buried. This is not the time to make impulsive decisions, but it is absolutely the time to make clear ones. The blood moon arriving on March 3rd sits on the Virgo-Pisces axis, the axis of healing, service, relationships, and the deepest emotional patterns we carry. What this eclipse does is not subtle. It reaches into the parts of your life where something has been out of alignment, something you have been tolerating, something you have been pretending doesn't bother you, and it makes that misalignment impossible to ignore any longer. Eclipses do not create problems, they reveal them, and they do so in a way that removes your ability to look away. But here's what most people miss about eclipse energy. The revealing is not punishment, it is liberation. When the blood moon pulls something into the light, a pattern, a relationship, a belief, a behavior, it is not doing it to hurt you. It is doing it because that thing has been blocking the door to what comes next. And what comes next for you cannot arrive until the space is clear. Today, March 1st, is your window to begin that clearing, voluntarily, intentionally, with full awareness, before the eclipse does it for you. The difference between those two experiences is enormous. I want to talk directly to a specific group of people right now, because not everyone watching this is in the same place, and this message, this exact moment, is not designed for everyone equally. There is a group of people watching this who have been existing in a kind of spiritual in-between for longer than feels sustainable. You have done enormous amounts of inner work. You have healed things that other people don't even know needed healing. You have rebuilt your relationship with yourself, with your worth, with your expectations for your own life. And yet, the outer world has not caught up yet. You are still waiting for the relationships to match the version of you that exists on the inside. Still waiting for the opportunities to reflect the version of you that exists in your physical reality. And some days, if you're honest, that gap between who you have become and what your life currently looks like feels unbearable. If that's you, I need you to hear this with everything you have. That gap is closing right now. Not metaphorically, not eventually, right now, in this exact window. what is happening cosmically in the next 10 days is specifically designed to collapse the distance between your internal growth and your external reality. The pre-eclipse energy today, the blood moon on March 3rd, and the extraordinary planetary movement happening throughout this first week of March, all of it is conspiring to bring the outside of your life into alignment with the inside of it. But, and this is the part that is urgent, the part I cannot say loudly enough, you have to be awake for it. You have to be paying attention, not with anxiety, not with desperate need, but with open, clear, intentional awareness. Because the opportunities that come through an eclipse window do not announce themselves loudly. They do not arrive with flashing lights and obvious signs. They arrive as quiet invitations, a conversation that feels slightly different, a door that opens just a little wider, a decision that suddenly feels cleaner than it has in months. And the people who are present enough to notice those quiet invitations are the ones whose lives transform during this window. The people who are distracted, consumed by noise, by drama, by the exhausting performance of living for other people's approval, they miss it entirely. You cannot afford to miss it. So what does this mean practically? What does the universe actually need from you today, on this first day of March, in this pre-eclipse window, in this extraordinary moment of cosmic reset? It needs one thing: clarity. Not a list, not a vision board, not a manifestation ritual or a perfectly worded intention, just clarity. The specific, honest, unfiltered truth of what you are done tolerating and what you are ready to step into. The energy of this moment does not respond to vague wishes, it responds to decisions. Think about it this way. For months, maybe longer, you have been carrying two things at the same time: the life you have been living and the life you know is meant for you. You have been holding both simultaneously, unable to fully release one and unable to fully commit to the other. That split, that divided energy is what has been slowing everything down. Today is the day you choose. Not because everything is perfect, not because the fear is gone, not because every detail is figured out, but because the cost of staying divided is now greater than the risk of choosing a direction. The eclipse on March 3rd will amplify whatever direction you are leaning when it arrives. If you are still split, still holding the old life in one hand and the new one in the other, it will amplify the tension of that split. And that is an uncomfortable and disorienting experience that many people are about to walk through completely unprepared. But if you use today, this window, this reset, this opening to get honest about what you want and what you are releasing, the eclipse does not arrive as disruption, it arrives as confirmation. There is an enormous difference between an eclipse that dismantles what you were holding and an eclipse that locks in what you have chosen. Today determines which one you experience. Before I close, I want to welcome you to today's comment highlight. Someone watching an earlier video wrote this: "I stopped fighting what was leaving, and everything I actually wanted finally had room to arrive." Read that again. They stopped fighting what was leaving, and everything they actually wanted finally had room to arrive. That is the entire message of this moment condensed into a single sentence. You cannot hold the new with hands that are still gripping the old. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do, the thing that unlocks everything, is simply to open your hands. Not in defeat, not in resignation, in trust. Trust that what is leaving was always supposed to leave. Trust that what is arriving has been in motion longer than you knew. Trust that the version of you standing at the threshold of this month, this extraordinary, charged, irreversible month, is not there by accident. You are here because you are ready. Even if the fear says otherwise, even if the circumstances do not look like readiness yet, even if nothing on the outside reflects the shift that is already happening on the inside, you are ready. March is not going to be gentle. It is going to be real. The blood moon is coming in 48 hours, and it is going to ask you to release something you have been holding far too long. The planetary movements of this first week are going to accelerate a direction you have been quietly building toward without fully admitting it to yourself. And by the time this month closes, by the time you look back at March 1st from the other side of everything it is about to bring, you will understand why this moment felt so important. It always was. So move into today with intention. Let the old things be old, let the new things be new, and trust deeply, completely, without reservation, that the universe does not reset timelines randomly. It resets them when the person is finally ready to live the life that was always waiting. That person is you. That time is now. And this is only the beginning.